Hi everyone, I'm Chibuzoma Chuku. A US reporter expressed her disapproval of China's presence in Africa. Former Greek finance minister Yanis Varoufakis responded by schooling her and putting her in her place. I'll roll the clips now.
I'm been very concerned lately about China and sort of we have transferred so much money from our economy over to China by buying all those things and supporting their economy over there so they could make more and more money. They are now all over Africa, buying things and investing over there and getting those countries dependent on them and supporting non-democratic people. And I'm just
Like
wondering,
whom?
well,
We are in a country that supports Saudi Arabia.
yes, that's
Yeah?
true. Right.
So suddenly we have a problem with, superpowers supporting non-democratic people.
yes, I do, but I also am just concerned that we've sort of created the economic power that China sort of has now, and they're using it, I fear, going to be using it against us eventually and against the better interests of a lot of people.
Allow me to put your mind to rest.
Okay, great.
You shouldn't worry about that.
Okay.
It's very simple. And let me explain why you shouldn't worry about that. But please continue.
Well, I mean, they're they're in Africa. They're lending money to countries to build ports and different infrastructure.
build what?
Port.
And what's wrong with that?
And well, because
Countries that need ports get ports.
but they're making people dependent on. I mean, I know it's the same thing that we've done, which is
No, it's not.
horrible around the world.
They are far more humanistic than the United States ever was.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. So
Let me give you an example. Of course, they are peddling for influence.
yeah.
Yeah? But they are non-interventionist. Absolutely non-interventionist in a way that Europeans, the West, has never managed to fathom.
But I have a feeling they have a longer term thought process that is more interventionist.
All right. But
anyway,
let's judge what we see. Let's
okay.
judge what.
Okay.
Wait, let's start at the beginning. The Chinese never asked Apple to go to Shenzhen and produce all the iPhones. It was Steve Jobs that decided that. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It was not China that went to Washington, D.C. and demanded that they buy a third of your national debt. If they hadn't bought it, you would be in serious trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number three. I did allude to this in my talk. If in 2008 China had not cranked up their credit bubble, you would be in a new Great Depression now.
Mm-hmm.
So
The USA economically helping China is one thing. However, whatever goes on between China and the continent Africa is no business of the USA. The USA is a country that was built on stolen land and on slavery. The country practices white supremacy in its own yard and also outside its own country. The country is threatened about other countries prospering well economically. That's the problem of this reporter and a lot of Americans, including those in the US government. This is a part of white supremacy, as in the rest of the West. Varoufakis seems to be on point. If China has any influence on Africa, then it's too small compared to the influence the USA and the rest of the West have on Africa. China helps Africa by providing needs such as hospitals, ports, airports, and bridges. What does the USA provide? It gives money to African countries on the condition of accepting US values, which the African countries don't need. Such values include the LGBT thing. That is worthless. It is useless. That LGBT thing is being used to destroy Africa, just as it's being used to destroy the Black community in America. I also have to agree with Varoufakis that China is more humanistic than the USA. The USA has been known to destroy leaders of other countries, not just African countries, for its own gain. The USA exploits other nations to be on top and also to prosper successfully. It is never okay to topple the US government, but it is okay for the country to topple the governments of other countries. The US government thinks that it has the power to rule other countries, or it is above the laws of other countries. However, it will never dare do that with Saudi Arabia. The USA is in no position to tell a country what to do, how to rule its people, or whatever. That is none of the USA's business. Why would the USA be so concerned about Africa when it has its own concerns at home? Charity begins at home. The USA has its own issues, such as homeless people on the streets, gun issues, and the staff shortages of healthcare facilities like hospitals and nursing homes. And the government claims to be concerned about the situation in Africa. It's only interested in taking things from Africa, like its resources, and taking the land, the entire land of the continent. Tell me what you think, and I'll appreciate you leaving some comments and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.